Alright guys, so we are in the middle of our series on packing and planning and how to get outside with our kids in a much easier way while also feeling confident that we have everything that we need. So today we are covering a really fun topic, and it's about pooping in the woods. So the first thing that you need in order to be prepared for pooping in the woods is your I pooped in the woods poop bag. I also call it a toilet kit, so it's a little bit less poopy. So anyway, this is really essential. Most likely you will never even have to use it. Okay, so that's good to know. The chances of you having to use this bag are very slim, but it's something that is virtually no weight and comes in really handy if you need it. And I'm talking from experience. I will tell you that story later. So the first thing that you want to do is, with your poop bag, take kind of a normal, maybe a quart-sized Ziploc bag and cover it in duct tape. You don't want people to know what's inside of it. You don't want people to see what's inside of it, because eventually what's inside of it might be a little gross. You can also use maybe an old makeup bag that you have that you haven't used for years. Just turn that into your poop bag. It doesn't matter. Just something that you can't see inside. So there are going to be a few items inside your poop bag. Number one is going to be hand sanitizer. This is very important. You want to keep this in there. And by having hand sanitizer in your poop bag in this unit always in your backpack, you're ready for anything, right? If your kids actually pick up poop while you're outside, then you always have hand sanitizer on you. So, and then two other things. This is a really simple bag. So you have one Ziploc baggie full of toilet paper. You can buy little toilet paper rolls in little plastic cases at the store, so that might be what you want to use as well. You just want toilet paper that's protected from the elements. So you'll have it protected in something, either its bag or its container, and then you'll have it doubly protected in here. The key is you don't want it to get wet, right? Toilet paper gets wet and it's no good. All right, then the last thing you're going to have is an empty Ziploc bag. And this has a reason. So whenever you go to the bathroom outside and you're going to wipe, you want to make sure and carry out your toilet paper. I don't know if any of you have found dirty toilet paper in the woods. It's really disgusting, and it's not really ethical in terms of outdoor behavior and outdoor ethics. And so we want to make sure that we carry our toilet paper out. So you're going to put your dirty toilet paper in here, and then we go back to our covered baggie, right? This is covered and clean. This is clean. Your dirty toilet paper is in here. You put it back in. You use your hand sanitizer to wipe your hands. Maybe wipe the outside of the bag so it's clean too. And then put it back in your covered baggie. Zip it up. No one needs to know. And basically it stays in your poop bag until you get home. Then when you get home, you're going to clean it out. And again, this shouldn't be something that you have to replace. You should be able to use it over and over again, because all of the dirty toilet paper goes in the bag. You clean your hands with a hand sanitizer. Then you can clean the outside of the bag with hand sanitizer and put it back in. So literally the only thing that you need to throw away is that extra baggie with poop toilet paper. And then once you're done, you're going to put a new baggie in. If you'd like, you could put a couple extra baggies in there. It never hurts to have a few more baggies, because you never know when you're going to use them. So that is your poop bag summed up, and I hope that helps. Bye. Alright guys, so as you're increasing your outdoor time and getting outside with your kids and sharing nature experiences and adventures, eventually someone's going to have to go to the bathroom. And the instance where your child is going to need to poop is not a question of if it's going to happen, it's a question of when. So the key is you want to be prepared when that happens. So obviously the first thing that you need is to have your poop bag with you. That's really important, and we've covered that. So what you need to know next is just how do you do it? Where do you go? What does it look like? Well, not the poop, but you know, the experience. Actually, if it's gold, it's a good color. So what you need to do, first of all, is you need to get out of the public place that you're in. So if you're on the trail, you need to get at least 200 feet from the trail. If you are at a campground, you need to get 200 feet away from that. If you're anywhere near a water source, make sure you get at least 200 feet away from that, because feces, you know, you can spread illnesses and diseases, and it's just not necessarily clean. So you want to get away from these public places. All right, so once you are a far distance away, the next thing you're going to want to do is dig what we call a 6-inch cat hole. So 6 inches down, and then it's just called a cat hole, right? Because they're digging up dirt, poop, and covering it up. So you want to get about 6 inches down. If you have a trowel, then that's a really great way to do it. You may want to pack a trowel, which is a tiny shovel. You may want to pack something like that with you. You can get them for $2, $3, $4 at the store. So just go to the camping section and you'll find them. And so you want to dig a 6-inch hole, and then you poop in the hole, and then you cover it up with dirt. And you may want to cover it up with some sticks and some leaves and stuff too, just to make it look like it's kind of a natural space again. And that's really important because the 6 inches down helps other animals from digging it up, because if they can smell it, it's poop. Animals really like poop for some reason, and so they're going to dig it up, and that's not what you want. So you want to get at least 6 inches down. So what happens if you're in the desert or in a place that has a really hard surface and your child needs to go right then, and you can't seem to get even an inch under the soil, right? Maybe you could try flipping up a rock. It's not necessarily the go-to method because there's so many organisms and like a little tiny ecosystem that exists under every rock. But sometimes if that's what you've got, then that's what you should do. Poop in the hole, put the rock back on it, and cover it up. And let me see, is there anything else that I am forgetting? So 200 feet away from any type of public source, water, trail, campground, you want to dig a 6-inch cat hole. Have them poop in there. Make sure that when you use your toilet paper that's in this bag, you pack your toilet paper out. There's nothing more disgusting than finding dirty toilet paper outside. So make sure that you put it in your bag and then you carry it out. So those are the basics. It's pretty simple, but again, if you've never pooped in the woods and all of a sudden your child is running up to you and saying that he has to go to the bathroom, then now you know what to do. It's relatively simple, easy to follow, and good luck. If it does happen, please tell us the story because we would love to hear it. I have my own story that I'll be telling here in a few minutes. All right, have a good one. All right, guys, so earlier when I said it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when your child is going to need to poop in the woods, I'm a perfect example of that. So this happened to me, I don't know, a few years ago, and I was pregnant with my second child. I was about 8 months along, and I'm the kind of pregnant person that's sick the entire time, right? So at 8 months, I'm finally feeling like I am well enough and I can manage my nausea enough to get outside and hike with my kid. So this is the first time I'd been hiking with my kid in over 8 months. And so we're getting out there together. I picked him up from school. He's 4 years old, right? I picked him up from preschool. We were heading out there, walking along the trail. I was so proud of myself. He was happy. I was happy. I felt like we were finally in a good place. And then he looks up at me and he says, "Mama, I need to poop." And he starts holding his bottom, you know, so he's running, holding his bottom. And I'm like, okay, wait, let's go. And okay, we tried to get off the trail. We did. We really did. But, you know, when your child is 4, and they usually wait till like it's coming out when they tell you that they need to poop. So I'm like, oh my gosh. So I tried to get him set up. You know, I tried to put 2 rocks right next to each other so he could kind of sit on it like a toilet, because I thought that that would be familiar and easy for him. And it wasn't. And he was losing his mind. By this point, there were tears and sobs. And he's like, "It's coming out." And I'm like, oh my gosh. So finally, I just went in for the assist. So we pulled his pants down, and I kind of, you know, got in, and I held his hands, and he squatted down and pooped. Whole time, tears are just running down his face, and he's crying. It smells awful. I'm gagging the whole time because I'm still really, my stomach is so sensitive. So I'm like, whoo, whoo. He's crying, pooping. But you know what? In the end, it got done. We didn't have toilet paper with us because I was completely unprepared. And so we used some rocks and a few sticks, and just kind of, you know, did what we could. Cleaned it up as best as we could, covered it with a rock, and we got out of there. And so that's my poop story. I was not prepared, to say the least, and I had this idea that, you know, at some point in time when my child got older, I would sit him down and we would talk about the logistics of how you poop in the woods and how we do it ethically and all this, and no, it's not the way it goes at all. He had to poop, and he had to poop right then, and we had to just get it done. We were like a couple feet off the trail. And so I want to help you guys hopefully not have that same experience, right? And so hopefully with your poop kit, and then also with kind of the rules that I gave you for 200 feet off of, away from water or a public place, and then 6 inches down, pack your toilet paper out, cover it up, that you guys will have the tools you need to poop in the woods, or at least to help your kids poop in the woods. Okay, I hope that helps.